I waited over 1 year to get this keyboard. Will it live up to the hype and be my endgame keyboard? Make sure to stick around and find out. When I was getting into the exciting world of mechanical keyboards, there were two keyboards that really stood out to me. If you have seen some of my previous videos, you probably already know that one of them is the Unicorn. But can you guess what the other board is? That keyboard happened to be the Polaris by AI03, which was a revolutionary keyboard at the time. It was a beautiful 60% keyboard with gasket mount all at an affordable price level. I wasn't able to get one at the time, which was why I was super excited to hear that it would be coming back in a 65% form through the Vega. Even though I love the look of 60% boards, functionality wise I do prefer having dedicated arrow keys, so the Vega was the perfect board for me. The Vega was first offered as a limited in-stock supply, but can you guess how that went for me? That's right, I took a fat L as it was sold out in seconds. I was devastated, but thankfully it would be offered one last time as an unlimited group buy. Then the waiting game began. Although the estimated group buy wait was around half a year, just like any keyboard group buys, there were many delays. But one day after a whole year of waiting, it finally came. The keyboard came in this really nice packaged box that included everything you needed from the PCB and other accessories. I was torn between getting the white or blue colorway, but I ended up choosing the blue, which was a nice navy color. When unboxing, there was one thing that really surprised me about this keyboard. The weight of the keyboard mainly came from the bottom stainless steel weight, as other parts of the case were really light in comparison. Although steel weights were used to avoid problems faced in brass weights with the Polaris, I can't help but be a bit disappointed in how plain the Vega looks in comparison to the Polaris. The gold accent really brings out the Polaris, and the Vega looks a bit more boring with the black weight. I'm not going to make this video a tutorial on how to assemble the Vega because AI03 already provided a really in-depth guide on how to do so. Instead, I want to share some of my experience with the keyboard, and make sure to stick around until the end for a sound test. You don't want to miss it because it's really good. There was one major issue that I ran into while building the board. While I was trying to disassemble the keyboard using included screwdrivers, I noticed that one of the screws was not coming out. I was scared out of my mind because I thought that the keyboard I waited over a year for had a strip screw that prevented me from building it. But luckily, I used my own screwdriver and it seemed to solve the issue. So I hope in the future they'll include a more premium screwdriver that does not have this issue, and if you're building a Vega yourself, don't use the included screwdriver and use your own. The PCB is pretty thin, which is why they included shims for stabilizers, but I didn't have to use them when using Durock V2s. I got the polycarbonate plate with my kit, but I decided to get an aftermarket FR4 plate instead. For switches, I'm using the Gateron Box Ink V2s, which is an improved version of my favorite switch, the Gateron Ink Black V2s. The box stem helps with the stem wobble, so if you're looking for a switch to put in your keyboard, I highly recommend this one. I really like how these switches feel and sound. For keycaps, I wanted to put my GTK Arctic on them, but I feel like the channel has already seen them a lot, so I put on ePBT black on white for the video. But if you're curious to see how they look with Arctic as well, make sure to stick around because I'll include some clips of them later on. Anyways, here's how my keyboard turned out. So does the Vega live up to the hype? And is this my endgame keyboard? Overall, I do think that the Vega was definitely worth the long wait. It's a super clean and minimal board that sounds and feels really good. It's definitely the best keyboard I've personally tried so far and has been my daily driver since I got it. I know that some people might be wondering why you would spend a lot of money to buy a high-end keyboard that doesn't even have anything flashy or eye-catching, but I think that's kind of the appeal of the Vega. The seamless case design and the clean lines of the side profile all add to the beauty of this keyboard. Not to mention, the typing experience provided by the gasket mount is so nice to type on and has been the best implementation of the gasket mount that I personally have seen so far. So at the end of the day, is this my endgame keyboard? Definitely not, because I'll most likely be buying more keyboards, but what I can say for sure is that this is the best keyboard that I've tried so far, and it will be here to stay in my collection for a long time. If you enjoyed today's video, consider giving it a like and subscribing to the channel, and make sure to check out another one of my videos after the sound test.